Hello everyone. Today we continue following the journey of Dieu Han, a single mother in search of her biological parents. After months of searching, finally, a ray of hope appears. For the first time, Dieu Han holds clear information about her birth parents in her hands. Her heart bursts with joy. Her eyes turn red not from sorrow, but from overwhelming happiness. She leaves Mr. Chin's house, carrying a new hope, and returns to the small home she shares with her friend Uyan. The sky is already dusky as Han arrives at the gate. No one seems to be inside. She calls out loudly, "Uyan! Uyan!" Silence. No response. Only the gentle rustling of the wind through the trees and the echo of her own footsteps in the empty house answer her. She steps inside, puts her bag down in the corner, and walks into the kitchen. Though tired, she feels light and at peace. Today is a special day, and she wants to cook a nice meal as a way to thank her friend for always being by her side. Dieu Han focuses intently, tasting and adjusting the flavors. Suddenly, the sound of a motorbike revving from afar breaks the silence, racing up to the gate like a gust of wind. Startled, Han turns her head toward the door. Before the gate even opens, a man's voice snaps harshly from outside. "Who are you? What are you doing in Uyen's house?" Before she can react, the door bursts open. A man, probably in his 30s with suspicious eyes, strides in as if he owns the place. Han was momentarily startled. She stood up, instinctively took a step back, and held Tom close to her. Her voice trembled. I'm Han Uyen's friend. I'm just staying here for a few days." The man paused for a moment, then his eyes softened. "Oh, you're Han? Uyen has mentioned you before?" "Yes, please come in and have some tea." The man smiled and stepped inside. His name was the Aunt. He was the owner of this garden. The place Uyan was looking after belonged to him. Seeing that Uyan was struggling, he had let her stay here temporarily to help him tend the garden. Han nodded, feeling slightly relieved. "I just recently started staying here with Uyan. I didn't know this was your land. I hope you understand." The An waved his hand. "No worries. You helped Uyan during tough times, so if I can return the favor, I'm more than happy to." He glanced around the house, then his eyes rested on Han's face, as if something had just occurred to him. "Your story. How's the search for your parents going?" Han was a bit surprised. She hadn't expected him to know. "Well, today I met an old acquaintance of my father's. He gave me an old photograph. I believe the man in the photo is my father. I still don't know where they are, but at least it's the first real clue I've had in years." The An was silent for a moment. She pulled the photo out from her jacket pocket and held it out. "Could you take a look? Maybe you've seen this person somewhere before?" He took it and studied the photo for a long time. After a while, he nodded. "Let me take a picture of this. I know a few people, maybe we can trace some information from it." Han lowered her head, genuinely moved. "Thank you so much. I just want to find my parents soon, so Tom can have grandparents, and I can have a real home." The An smiled gently. "Don't worry. You've helped others, and others will help you in return. Stay here with Uyen for a while. When there's time, Uyen and I will help you with the search. Just believe fate won't let down those with the good heart." With that, the An said goodbye and got into his motorbike to leave. The next day, the atmosphere in the small house shared by Dieu Han and Uyan suddenly felt calm and soothing, like a cool early summer breeze passing through. And as if by coincidence, the one who brought that refreshing breeze was none other than the An. This time, when the An arrived, the look in his eyes was no longer cold or suspicious like the day before. He smiled warmly, carrying 2 bunches of fresh nipa palm fruit he had just bought from the market. "It's so hot today. These looked so good I had to grab some for the 2 lovely ladies of the house." Uyen laughed, and Han returned a gentle smile. The atmosphere suddenly felt more familiar, more comfortable. Last night's misunderstandings quietly put aside. "Thank you. Fresh nipa palm like this is hard to find," Uyen said as she reached out to take the bunch. Right after, the 2 girls quickly got to work in the kitchen. Though the fruit looked soft, nipa palm can actually be quite tricky to prepare. Uyen handled the peeling, while Han took charge of scraping out the jelly-like pulp inside. The nipa palm fruit was truly fascinating. Beneath its rough brown shell was a clear, tender flesh that looked just like jelly. When the sunlight hit it, it glowed with a soft, milky white hue. Although it's called a palm, the nipa palm doesn't have much water inside. That's because it doesn't grow tall like the typical coconut palm, but rather low, close to the ground in brackish wetlands. Perhaps that's why people call it nipa palm or water coconut. It was a summer noon. The sun outside was blazing, but inside the house, everything felt peaceful and still. The An rolled up his sleeves to help too. Though nipa palm looked soft, some of the fruits were as tough as stone. It took strong hands like the An's to crack open the shell without slipping. As he carefully peeled away the outer layers, Uyen washed the jelly pieces and placed them into cups, then mixed them with sugar and stirred them gently. After preparing the refreshing nipa palm drinks together, Han, Uyen, and the An sat around a small bamboo table in the corner of the kitchen. The harsh summer sunlight had softened, leaving only gentle rays stretching across the ground. Han held her glass of nipa palm drink and took a small spoonful. The cool sweetness on her tongue made her smile softly. It had been a long time since she last enjoyed such a peaceful afternoon. The An looked at her and asked with genuine concern, "So, how's everything going? Have you found your parents yet?" Han paused for a moment. She lowered her head, fingers interlaced beneath the table, then replied softly, "Not yet, but I've gotten some important information about my birth parents. Still, I'm not ready to be sure. I'm afraid if I celebrate too soon and it turns out wrong, it'll be really disappointing." She let out a faint smile, but her eyes still carried a quiet, unmistakable worry. The An nodded, his gaze filled with understanding. "I get it. These things take time. But don't worry. I've already asked a few people I know around here to keep an eye out. We might come across something." Han quickly thanked him and asked curiously, "Thank you so much, really. Oh, by the way, how do you know Uyen? You two seem pretty close?" Uyen blushed slightly. Before she could say anything, the An chuckled and shared, "It's kind of a funny story. I dropped my wallet on the street one day. I was panicking because it had all my important papers in it. Then Uyen showed up and returned it to me. And you know, in a city this big and crowded, it's rare to come across someone as kind as her." Han laughed and gave them both a teasing look. "So it's fate, huh? You two actually make a cute pair." That comment made both Uyen and the An freeze for a second. Their eyes met briefly, hesitantly, before quickly looking away. The atmosphere turned shy, but also strangely sweet. The afternoon passed by in rare peace. The An glanced at his watch, then stood up, said goodbye to the two girls, and headed off on his motorbike. Uyen walked him all the way to the gate. Han watched his figure fade behind the row of bougainvillea, her heart suddenly feeling lighter. She no longer felt the loneliness that had haunted her in the early days. Now, at least, she had someone to walk alongside her. There was hope, and there were kind-hearted people by her side. That night, Han sat by the window holding the printed page with the photo and information about her parents she had just found. Her heart beat loudly with every thump. She was so close to the truth. She could feel it. The day of reunion wasn't far away. And yet, a question stirred in her heart. Would her parents come back to find her? Or would she have to go even further, perhaps all the way down south, to the place where her childhood had been severed? There was no one to answer that question, but Han knew she couldn't stop now. She would keep searching for her mother, for her father, and for herself and her little son. What will Han discover in the journey ahead? What secrets lie waiting to be uncovered? And are her mother and father from long ago somewhere out there, also waiting for her? Let's find out together in the next episode of The Journey Home, the story of single mother Dieu Han and her search for her roots.
Uyên tiễn anh ra tận cổng, Hân nhìn theo bóng anh khuất dần sau hàng rào hoa giấy, lòng chợt cảm thấy nhẹ nhõm, không còn là sự cô đơn như những ngày đầu. Bây giờ, ít nhất cô đã có người đồng hành, có hy vọng và có những người tốt bụng bên cạnh. Đêm đó, Hân ngồi bên cửa sổ, tay cầm tờ giấy, in hình ảnh và thông tin về bố mẹ mà cô vừa tìm được. Trái tim cô đập mạnh từng nhịp. Cô đã rất gần với sự thật. Cô cảm nhận được rằng ngày đoàn tụ không còn xa. Nhưng rồi, một câu hỏi trỗi dậy trong lòng. Liệu bố mẹ có còn tìm về với cô không? Hay cô sẽ phải tự tìm xa hơn, vào tận trong miền Nam, về nơi mà tuổi thơ cô đã bị cắt lìa? Câu hỏi ấy không có ai trả lời. Nhưng Hân biết cô không thể dừng lại. Cô sẽ tiếp tục tìm kiếm vì mẹ, vì cha và vì chính cô và con trai của cô. Liệu Hân sẽ tìm thấy gì trong hành trình sắp tới? Những bí mật nào đang chờ đợi phía trước? Và liệu người mẹ, người cha năm xưa có đang ở đâu đó, đang chờ cô? Hãy cùng mình đón xem ở tập tiếp theo trong hành trình về nguồn cội của mẹ đơn thân Diệu Hân.